I think it's no small thing when the Chancellor of the Exchequer declares that the future of British prosperity depends upon a reset with Europe. This is after all the Brexit rubbish and so on. It's precisely this position that Rachel Reeves has advanced today in the last 30 minutes, arguing not only for a warmer diplomatic link with the EU, but for a recalibration of our post-Brexit economic trajectory, because it is the only choice. In the face of growing global instability marked by Donald Trump's trade belligerence, the declining UK growth forecasts, the war in Ukraine, Reeves has placed Europe at the heart of Britain's strategic economic recovery. And Donald Trump's new wave of global tariffs, levied under the banner of economic nationalism, has triggered a volatile market reaction. UK growth forecasts have now fallen from 1.2% to 0.8% for 2025, according to Consensus Economics. KPMG estimates the loss to the British economy of over £21 billion by 2027. Fiscal headroom gone. Though the UK is not the principal target of Trump's ire, the aftershocks are reverberating through manufacturing, export-led businesses and investor confidence, and Reeves, adopting as pragmatic a tone as she can, remarks, "No one wants to see a trade war. We're approaching this with a cool head." Well, behind the calm rhetoric lies urgency, and faced with global demand and retaliatory tariffs, the Chancellor sees an opportunity. And that opportunity is about resetting the relationship between Britain and Europe. It's about time. When history books write about this moment, they may notice that it was not Brexit itself, but Donald Trump's second trade war that finally brought Britain back into Europe, or back towards Europe. And in her striking interview with the Financial Times, she made clear that the global chaos unleashed by Trump's tariff blitz has presented the UK with both a threat and an opportunity. In his words, there is an even greater imperative to improve our trading relationship with Europe. It's about a re-engagement, economic, strategic, regulatory, with Europe. She's not, of course, proposing, she can't politically, she is not, of course, proposing a full return to the customs union or the single market. Labour remains politically cautious on that front for the time being, but she is pushing for a regulatory reset, starting with alignment in sectors like chemicals, where British divergence has become an administrative headache for exporters. This isn't an ideological Europhilia, it's economic realism. And Reeves herself has said since Brexit it's been harder for British firms to export around Europe, particularly smaller firms. Many feel shut out, and rightly so. The SMEs that form the backbone of the British economy have faced bureaucracy, new tariffs, logistical hurdles that hamper growth. Now, because of global instability, there's a chance to do something about it, and about time. And Reeves, to her credit, is framing the UK not as a protectionist island, but as a sanctuary of stability, a sort of Switzerland without software, ready to attract international investment with quiet competence. And her case has received an unexpected asset, an unexpected assist, an unexpected leg up, and that's Donald Trump himself. Trump's renewed tariff war has made the UK, by comparison, look almost rational. It's made Brexit look like a fluffy moment. And while global giants stagger under punitive tariffs, Britain's offer of calm, a rules-based capitalism, is suddenly attractive. And nothing illustrates that more than Comcast's decision to build a multi-billion-pound theme park in Bradford. Yeah, Bradford, the future home of roller coasters, retail, and Reeves's recalibrated realism. This, she says, is a real show of confidence in the UK economy, and not without reason. It's expected to bring 20,000 jobs and £50 billion in economic benefit over time. And her message, Britain may have left the EU, but it needn't leave its economic senses. Well, after 10 years, that's something of a relief to know, isn't it? 9 years. Some cynics might scoff, saying Reeves is merely cherry-picking EU access while avoiding its costs, and they would be right to point out the EU's scepticism. Brussels is not minded to permit selective re-entry into its single market à la carte. But what is Reeves doing? Perhaps more subtly than it appears, she's signalling a policy of incremental realignment, beginning with mutual recognition of qualifications, food trade and industrial standards. Not a rejoin, but a reconvergence. And there's a domestic element in this too. Reeves wants to show the City of London and indeed the north of England that the UK can grow through partnership, not just deregulation. Her meeting with heavyweights like Charles Nunn of Lloyds, Andrea Rossi of M&G wasn't just optics, we're informed. It was about building credibility with markets, showing that Labour has replaced Corbynite hostility with grown-up engagement. And on the home front, Reeves is also delivering for her own constituents. The Leeds-Bradford tramline, part of the £2.5 billion mass transit scheme, was not just announced with relish, but with a certain hometown pride. She called the lack of such a system in Leeds a damning indictment of decades of economic failure. So put that right. Transport, investment, growth, these are not abstract slogans. They are a political pitch to the post-Brexit Britain that is tired of ideology and ready for infrastructure. And in the middle of all this, Reeves is keeping an eye on America. She's off to Washington later this month for an IMF meeting where she promises to keep trade very much on the agenda. And she was careful to say that no one wants to see a trade war, and promised a cool-headed response to Trump's tariffs. One suspects this is both diplomatic posture and veiled warning. With UK GDP forecasts down, the stakes are high, and Trump's unpredictability has sent tremors everywhere. Britain needs friends and markets closer to home. Rachel Reeves is not promising a revolution, but she is offering some sort of reset, a deliberate, pragmatic, strategic return to the continent. If not institutionally, then economically. And in an era of instability, she's betting on Britain's old virtues of calm, credibility, and commerce. And if she's right, the next theme park won't just be in Bedford, it'll be on the road to Brussels.